Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd as well as Yarnspirations.com. I'm your host Mikey. Today we're going to work on the cherry pie, and this is a really kind of a cool idea, and this is a pot holder, and there's a set of 3 of them, and today is only going to be the cherry pie. So without further ado, you're going to need your lily sugar and cream. It is 100% cotton. For anything with heat and water and all of that jazz, when it comes to the kitchen, you need to concentrate on your cotton yarn only. Anything acrylic or any other kind of blends may have a possibility of melting, which is almost a guarantee. So without further ado, you're going to need a 4mm size G crochet hook today. So the pie filling and the crust are 2 different things, and what's happened here is that the pie filling is in behind and the crust then is in the front. So really from the back side you'll be able to see the cherry filling if it's turned around, but from the top you can see the holes are through like a pie. So we're gonna do the filling first, and then we're gonna do the pie crust later. So let's begin now. So using your red, what you want to do is create a slip knot to begin, and you want to insert your hook in, and we're going to chain 2, and that'll be the beginning of your round. So just 1 and 2. Remember, the first one on the hook never counts as 1. So now what you're going to do is in the first chain you want to put 6 single crochets into the first one. So just coming back to the first one, and you want to put 6 single crochet there. So 1, and then keep doing it, 2 and 3. You're gonna be bearing over top of these the loose end. This is gonna be 4, 5 and 6, just like that. And then now that you got 6, and you can count it back on your hook as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Go into the 6th one back from the hook, or if you can identify the first one and just pull it through with the slip stitch just like that, and you have a perfect circle for your beginning of your pie. So let's move on to round number 2. So round number 2, we're gonna chain up 1, and then each stitch around is gonna get 2 single crochets into each. So 1 and 2. Okay, so move to the next one. So 1 and 2, and do that all the way around for round number 2. When you get all the way around, you will think the last one is a stitch. It's not. It's part of the first one, so don't mistake that, and just count back, and you should find that there's 6 groups of 2 if you're confused at any point. So just going back and just going to the top of the first one that you started with, and with the slip stitch, and you will bring that to conclusion. So let's move on to round number 3. You're gonna chain up 1, and in the same one that you did the join, you're gonna put in 2 single crochets. So 1 and 2. So here's the repeat pattern for this complete round. The next one is gonna be 1 single crochet by itself, and then the next one will have 2. So 1 and 2 into the same one, and then the next one is 1 by itself, and then the next one will have 2. So please do that all the way for round number 3. So I'm coming up to the end of round number 3, and the last one is just 1 single crochet by itself, and that just happens to be how the math works out. So it's nothing special, and you're going to join it then with the beginning single crochet that you had started with, and that was round number 3. So we're getting a little bit bigger. So let's move on to round number 4. Chain up 1, and this time there will be 2 single crochets into the first one, the one where you did the join with, and then in this one there's gonna be 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. So the 1 and 2, and here's the repeat pattern for this round. So the next one's gonna have 2 single crochets into the same one, and then the next 2 are gonna be 1 single crochet by itself. Please do that all the way around for round number 4. Finishing up round number 4, the final 2 are 1 single crochet by itself, and I'm just keeping in count with the math, so it's nothing special, and just join it to the first single crochet. So let's move along to round number 5. Chain up 1, I apologize, and 2 single crochets into the same one. So 1 and 2, and this time in round number 5 the next 3 are gonna be by itself. So we're just moving along. So 1, 2 and 3, just all by themselves, and then here's the repeat pattern. The next one will have 2, so 1 and 2, and then the next 3 are by themselves. So 1, 2 and 3, and please do that all the way around for round number 5. Coming up to the end of round number 5, the 3 were by themselves in the end, and then you just join it to the first single crochet with the slip stitch to finish off round number 5. So let's begin round number 6 together. Chain up 1 and 2 single crochets into the first one. So 1 and 2, and in round number 6 then the next 4 are by themselves. So 1, 2, 3 and 4, and then the next two are together, so next two are into the same one. Okay, so there's 4 by themselves and 2 into the same one. So the repeat pattern is the next 4 by themselves. So 1, 2, 3 and 4, and then the next one has 2. So please do all that for round number 6. Finishing up round number 6, there was 4 single crochets that were in the end, and then you just join it to the first single crochet. So that was round number 6. So let's start round number 7. Chain up 1, 2 single crochets in the first one. It's the same one as the last slip stitch, and then the next 5 are by themselves. So you're seeing the pattern, so let's do 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and then the next 2 are into the same one. So 1 and 2. Please do that for round number 7. Finishing up round number 7, there was 5 by itself in the end, and then you just join it to the top of the beginning, or to the beginning single crochet. So let's move along to round number 8. Chain up 1, 2 single crochets in the first one of the slip stitch that you did, and now this time there's going to be 6 in a row that are by themselves. So let's do that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and then the next two, or the next one has 2 in them, so it's 1 and 2. So the repeat pattern is 6 in a row, then 2, 6 in a row, and then 2. Do that for round number 8, please. So this is the end of round number 8. Just join it to the beginning single crochet that you had started with. Okay, let's begin round number 9. Chain up 1 and 2 single crochets into the first one as always. 1 and 2, and then the next 7 are going to be by themselves. So just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, and then the next 2 are into the same one. So 1 and 2. So the repeat pattern is 7 in a row and then 2. Please do that for round number 9. So coming up all the way to round number 9 and last round to go. That's how fast this one is, and this is the pie filling, of course. You're gonna chain up 1 and it's 2 into this first one as always, and then there's gonna be 8 in a row by itself. You already know how to do that. So there's gonna be 8 and then 2, 8 and 2. Please do that all the way around for this round, and then we're gonna fasten off at the end of this round and get ready to do the pie crust on top. So it's 8 in a row and then 2. So I'm finishing up round number 10. It was the last one, and I join it to the first single crochet that I started with, and that's it. The pie filling is now done, and I'm just going to trim off my yarn now, and I'm gonna weave in my ends, and that's it. So we're gonna move on to the crust next, and the crust goes over top, and this pie filling not only provides the peekaboo for the actual filling that goes through the crust, but it's also double protection then, because it will make 2 layers of this material to come between you and a hot surface. So let's keep moving along, and let's start doing the crust next. So let's start working on the crust, and I'm using jute color, and I'm gonna create a slip knot to begin using the same size hook, and I want to chain a total of 4. So I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3 and 4, and let's start off round number 1. So in the 4th chain from the hook, so right where I'm pinching, the very first chain, that's where we're gonna play with this the whole round. So what we're gonna do is that we're gonna do 1 double crochet, and we'll watch what we do. So we're gonna do 1 double crochet in the first chain way back down here, pull through and do that as a double crochet, and then I want you to chain 1, and then I want you to double crochet 2 times into there, and we have to do that a total of 5 times in a row, and that will give you 6 double crochets that sit side by side. Okay, so that's 2 double crochets. So we did the chain, okay, and then we came in and did a double crochet followed by a chain 1 and then 2 double crochets. So to carry on, we're gonna chain 1 and into the same one right down here at the base you're gonna put 2 more double crochets in. So that what you're looking for is a total of 6 of these groups of 2 double crochets side by side. So now you're actually halfway around at this point. Okay, so if I pull it apart, so you see 2, 2 and 2. So chain 1 and 2 more double crochets. So 1 and 2 followed by chain 1 and then keep on doing that. So 1 and 2. Okay, chain 1 and then I'm gonna do it one more time. So I got one group of 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, should be a total of 6. Just like that, and then to finish that round off, chain 1 and slip stitch to the top of the first chain 3 that you had started with, like so. Okay, and that's the middle of your crust area. So let's move along to round number 2. So let's move along to round number 2. We're going to slip stitch until we get to the first chain 1 space right here, right where I'm pinching. So just coming across and just slip stitch across the tops of these double crochets just to make your way there, and slip stitch right into that chain 1 space to begin. And that's where we're gonna start from this one. So we're going to start up and we're gonna chain 3, which counts as a double crochet. So 1, 2 and 3, and I want you to put 2 more double crochets into that same space. So 1 and 2, just like that. Okay, and now and then I want you to chain 1, and then we're going to then move across, and then we're gonna go to the next space right here. So the next space, what we're gonna do then is that we're gonna put in 3 double crochets into that next one. Okay, so 1, 2 and 3. Okay, followed by a chain 1, just like that. And so we need just to completely go around, so go to the next chain 1 space and double crochet 3 times. So 1, 2 and 3. Okay, followed by a chain 1 and then completely jump to the next space that's available to you. So please do that all the way around for round number 2. So once you get all the way around, you're just gonna finish off with a chain 1 and then just join it to the beginning chain 3 that you had started with. So that's what it would look like right at this particular stage. So let's move along to round number 3, and we're gonna slip stitch to the first chain 1 space over here and just move across the tops again, just into the stitches as slip stitches, just to move across and slip stitch right into that chain 1 space, and then we're going to begin round number 3. So round number 3 is really quite straightforward. We're gonna chain up 3, which counts as a double crochet, and then you're going to double crochet 2 more times back into that same space. So 1 and 2, and but this time what we're not gonna do is that we're not gonna jump to the space right away. We're gonna chain 1 and we're gonna do 3 double crochets back into that same space once again. Okay, so we're just getting bigger, and make sure that our pie crust stays flat. That's how you do it. And then you just get 3 double crochets in there, and now what I want you to do is just chain 1 and then just jump now to this next space right here. So in these spaces there's always gonna be 3 double crochet, just like that, followed by a chain 1 and then back into that same space again for 3 more double crochets. So you're actually essentially creating a hexagon shape for this particular idea. Okay, so then chain up 1 and then move to the next one, right? So please do that all the way around for round number 3. So I'm just coming up all the way back around. Make sure I chain 1 first before joining it to the first single crochet or first chain 3. So it's gonna look very much like a hexagon shape at this moment. So let's move along to round number 4, and in round number 4 we're going to slip stitch again to the first chain 1 space. So just keep on going across the tops, slip stitch over and get right into that next space. Okay, so here we are. So in round number 4 we're going to then chain up 3. So 1, 2 and 3, and then we're going to come into the same one and we're gonna double crochet 2 more times, just like that, and then chain 1 just like that. And then what we're going to do is that we're just gonna keep moving across and around the outside. So let me just move on in just a second. So we're just gonna immediately just jump to this next one over here and double crochet 3 times. So 1, 2 and 3, followed by a chain 1 and then just jump to the next space. Again 3 double crochets. So that's all you're gonna do for this round. Round number 4 is just each section is gonna have 3 double crochets followed by a chain 1. So just keep moving around, and I'll see you at the end of this round in just a moment. So once you get to the end, make sure you chain 1 first, and then you just join it to the beginning chain, or chain 3 that you started with. So this is what it looks like at this point. So what we're gonna do now is just move on to round number 5, and in round number 5 this is the final round before we bring back the pie filling to cover in. So we're gonna slip stitch again across the tops just like this, and then come right into the space, and I want you to chain up 1, and we're gonna put 2 single crochets right into this very chain 2 space. So 1 and 2, and now we're just gonna move across the tops of the double crochets and just put in 1 single crochet each. So 1, 2 and 3, and then each one chain one space is gonna get 2 single crochets into that. Okay, so then you're gonna do that all the way around. So in the tops of these double crochets, just 1 single, 1, 2 and 3, and then in the spaces there's gonna be 2. Please do that all the way around for round number 5. So as you come all the way back around, then you just do that very last one that you had. So 1, 2 and 3, and then just join it to the first single crochet that you had started with, and now you're good to go. So what we're going to do is you're gonna grab back your pie filling, and this is the right side facing up, and this is the right side facing up of the crust, and now we're gonna put these together. Let me back out the camera and show you what to do. So what we're going to do is that you're going to chain up 1 on the crust, and then you're gonna go into the very first stitch as you normally would, but you can just grab any stitch just to begin. And the pie crust, this is the right side facing up, this is the right side of the filling facing up, and you're just gonna go right through one of the pie crust, or one of the pie fillings on the outside, and just finish that off and do a single crochet. So now that the first one is attached, just move along on your crust, move along on the pie filling, and single crochet. And you just want to apply 1 single crochet into each, going through both of the thicknesses at the same time, and this will permanently put the back edge or the back filling with this together, and it creates the illusion that there's pie filling then in the front side. So please do that, 1 single crochet into each, going through both thicknesses for round number 6. So I'm just coming up all the way back around. I'm in the last stitch, just join it then, and I filled in all of the filling in behind, and it's all completely done. So every stitch matched each other. So this is what it looks like on the back, and you can see this is the look on the front. Really, it's kind of cute. Okay, so let's move along, and round number 7 we're gonna chain up 1, and in the crust only is that we're gonna do back loops only. So let's begin, and in the next 3, and just go into the back loops. So if you're new to crochet, there's 2 loops that make up 1 stitch. If you go into the front loop, that's the front loop, and if you go into the other loop in the back, it's the back loop. So continuing in just go into the back loop only, and I want you to do 1 single crochet into that one plus 2 more of its friends, so 3 in a row, and then the next one is gonna be 2 into the same one. So 1 and 2. Okay, so that's the repeat pattern for this round. So 3 in a row by itself into the back loop. So 1, 2 and 3, and then the next one is gonna be 2 into the same one. Please do that all the way around for round number 7. So I'm coming up to the end of round number 7. In the last stitch here there should be 2 single crochets into that one. I'm just keeping the stitch counts, so I've done nothing special in order to make that happen. So that's what it looks like so far. We have one more round to do, and then there's a hanging loop for this, and it's actually really neat. So let's move along to round number 8. So let's begin round number 8. It's looking pretty cool. So what we're gonna do then in round number 8 is that we're gonna skip the first 3 single crochets. So we're not gonna chain up 1. So we're gonna go 1, 2 and 3, go to the 4th, just right there, and I want you to put in 5 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now it says skip the next 2 single crochets, so 1 and 2, and I want you to slip stitch into the next, just like that. And then it says skip the next 2 and then put in 5 double crochets into the next one after that. So in the third one away, put in the next 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and then skip 2, 1 and 2, slip stitch into the third one away, skip 2, 1 and 2, and then put in another 5. So please do that all the way around for round number 8. So I'm coming up all the way around on round number 8 and I'm just finishing this last scallop area, and I just join it to the first slip stitch that I started with. Now here's the thing. My house is in particular is that I don't hang anything from any walls behind my counters, because the fact is we don't have anything like that in our house. So what you can do is that you can either stop here, and if you just want it to be here and it's a pot holder, and you can use this as a hot pad as well because it is double layered just like you see here, then it's just really quite easy to use. But if you'd like a handle on it, let's show you how to do that. So right where you are right now, you want to chain 15. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So then take that and then go to where you have the slip stitch already and just pull through and through. Okay. So now what you want to do is working across that chain right back again. So just go across the chain and single crochet yourself back across that chain. Okay, so all the way back, and what that will do is it'll thicken it up for you so that you have a nice solid hanging loop for when you're going to hang it, maybe in your counter or maybe into the walls of your kitchen backsplash. It's up to you what you'd like to do with it, and either way it's a good thing. I think these are really quite cute. Yarnspirations did a really super good job with these things. They make me smile when I look at them, and this is the first time I've kind of ever doing anything like this, so I kind of have the added interest of doing something new outside of my regular crochet projects that I do, and it's been a lot of fun. So I'm just working my way across that chain to create that big loop and coming back in all the way to right where I'd started, and I slip stitch in, and then this loose end, then I can trim this, and then this is my loop that it would be at the top of the pie. So then you just fasten that off and just weave in your ends, and with the darning needle get rid of that, and if you don't want anything like that you can just kind of pull it out and just fasten off here, and then therefore you kind of have a hot pad without a handle. But that's completely up to you. Your creativity, do what works for you. This works for me better, and that's just kind of what I prefer. So I'm gonna use a darning needle, weave in my ends, and that's it for now. So until next time, I'm Mikey on behalf of Yarnspirations as well as the crochetcrowd.com. We'll see you again real soon. Bye bye.